A little rough today. The hair's all over the place. I just had a shower because I just had a run and I'm wearing a matching tracksuit. Oh yeah, that's good. And I've got no bra on, which is TMI, but like you gotta know that I'm feeling super comfy right now. Guys t-shirt underneath. Sims. So basically what I'm trying to say is get comfy like me, and I hope you enjoy the video because this is our first ever platform build where I've just gone crazy with platforms everywhere, split leveling everywhere. It is the ultimate split level house. You're gonna love it. So let's jump into it. All right, so jumping into The Sims 4, I'm just building in Willow Creek. Nothing crazy. Actually, I lied. I'm building a new crest because I decided to use this house as part of our new crest save that I've been working on for what feels like the last 10 years. James is being very loud in the kitchen. Don't know if you guys could hear that, but there are saucepans flying, I think. Unless Bowser's cooking. But anyway, this is our split level home. Already I'm using the platforms to create these steps going up to the front of the house. And I basically wanted to make this house look just super modern. I have been waiting for platforms since The Sims 4 came out. Back in The Sims 3, we used to use this cheat called constrain floor elevation to kind of create essentially platforms and to create like modern boxed roofing on top of builds and to kind of create this wrapping shape around it. And I used to love doing that in The Sims 3. And so now that we have platforms and I can do this in The Sims 4, I wasted absolutely no time just jumping into the game and creating a modern house with that kind of snaking pattern around it. We're going to make it look really nice by using different wallpapers to kind of make it look like there's boxes and it's kind of geometric. And then inside, we're going to have a lot of fun things. I feel like everyone's been doing sunken living rooms, so I decided to mix it up a bit and do a sunken kitchen. I mean, in real life, I feel like it would be so impractical because you'd be constantly going up and down stairs carrying food. But in The Sims, it looks really cool. And sunken kitchens, I believe, were a thing in the 70s. I think the whole sunken lounge room idea was like a conversation pit, I think someone said in my stream the other day. So yeah, we're going with the conversation pit, but in the kitchen. I mean, you can converse at a kitchen bench, right, in a pit, so that's fine. And out here, we're going to make a sunken outdoor lounge with an outdoor fireplace to keep it a little different. And then we're going to use platforms for the staircase to make a unique staircase that we previously haven't been able to do before. And we're also going to, what else are we doing? Platform kitchen, platform dining room, platform hot tub out the back. There's just going to be platforms everywhere in split leveling. We have gone crazy with platforms. And I've got to say, it is so cool seeing what players have created with platforms already since it came out. By the way, take a shot every time I say platform, and you will actually don't do that. You will probably, rest in pieces. Which is what they write on the tombstone in The Sims 4. I'm not just saying that because I've come up with it, but you know what I mean. Like, just don't do that. But anyway, this is awkward now. So those square windows, to change the subject, are from The Sims 4 Snowy Escape. And I love that we have square windows. Square windows was actually something I was tweeting about not long ago. Or maybe I was just talking about in a live stream. I don't know. But I've been requesting just plain square windows for ages because we have lots of rectangular ones, but not square. So I particularly love making them very cubic looking when you put them together in like fours. We could also now stack windows since not the latest patch, but the patch before. So you can stack windows now to create more geometric window patterns, which is really fun. I was going to create these steps going up to the upper floor, but it didn't work, unfortunately. I couldn't connect stairs to the floor. I haven't fully figured out like all the ins and outs of platforms yet, like building with them, but I've kind of got an idea that it can become a little bit difficult at times. And every time you add a room to a build, it kind of resets the platforms. I mean, it's not too hard to fix, but what I recommend is maybe doing your whole floor plan so it's all done at once, then fixing your platforms, because throughout this build, you'll probably notice I keep adding rooms as we go and adjusting the platforms over and over again. So this home, in terms of what kind of family would live here, what's the aesthetic once we start putting the wallpapers in, the tiles in, getting some color in there, it's definitely a home for a sim with a bit of money, because it is kind of a showy home. It's very modern. It's kind of really over the top for how big it is, because it's only got 3 regular sized bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms, 2 living areas, and kitchen and dining. So it's not a small house, but like it looks quite commercial from the outside. It's big, so you'd think it's bigger inside than it is. But I guess because I've used so many split levels and there's a lot of outdoor entertainment area, it definitely looks bigger from the outside than it is on the inside. So in real life, it would not be a practical home, and it would be a lot of cash thrown and not really utilized in the most practical way. Because we're in The Sims, because we are motherlode, because we can play God and do whatever we like in this game, it's fine and it's fun. So I had a lot of fun with this. This is like my most exciting build I've done for a while, other than the builds I did for Snowy Escape, which, by the way, I really, really want to know how those builds are going. I did build the onsen in the new pack, and I was really nervous for you guys to see it because I've never been to an onsen, and I was just, you know, when you build something for The Sims to release with the game, there's a lot more restrictions, there's a lot of changes, you're working with a build of the game that isn't complete, so it's definitely very different to what we're doing right now, where you just go crazy with everything. You have to go back to it like 20 times, 10, 20 times to make adjustments. So I hope you guys are enjoying it, and also if you are going to the onsen with your Sims, or renovating it, or whatever, or any of the other builds I did, the park or the modern tourism home or vacation home, definitely like tag me on Instagram at Deligracy or Twitter, post it in my Discord. I would love to see what you guys are up to and just enjoying it, hopefully. So the type of people who are going to live here, I definitely went off on a tangent then, is a family with a bit of money. They have kids. They would have 2 kids, and one would be a child, one would be a teen or an older child to teen, and yeah, and a parent or 2 parents for the main bedroom. And there's also, in the space on the right with a lot of windows that at the moment is double height ceiling. We unfortunately couldn't keep the double height ceiling because we needed to utilize that space as more bedrooms for kids, but you could definitely knock one of the bedrooms out to bring it back. But over there is going to be the home office, and the idea is that they run like a fashion label, so they're stylists and they own a fashion label. So it's going to be really fun and pink and black in there. Pink, black, and white's kind of going to be the theme in that room. It's going to have the big stylist board, some mannequins. So they work from home, which is a big theme at the moment, especially during the pandemic. So I definitely feel like I'm doing more home offices at the moment. That's kind of cool. Now, originally I was going to go for this very industrial looking brick. And this brick, where is that one from? I think that's the Get Famous brick, which I love. If you guys have been watching me for a while, you know that I am obsessed with industrial red brick. I don't know what it is. I love it. And a lot of the like warehouse, semi-historic buildings around where I live have exposed brick. And it might sound ridiculous to some of you guys, say in Europe, when I say historic, because Australia, our buildings compared to somewhere like Rome in Italy are so new. So yeah, anyway, I was going with those industrial bricks and I thought they were really cool, but then I was speaking to my chat because I started this on the live stream, and chat said, you know what, let's clean it up a bit. What about white brick? And I kind of thought, you know what, I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna use my favorite white brick, and I decided this was a little more clean. I think it suited the architecture of the build a little bit more, like the cubic kind of wrapping around theme of it, and I also thought that more of you guys would probably like it. So as much as I love that industrial brick, we're gonna save that for another build. Don't worry, there's gonna be plenty of builds with industrial brick colors. So I thought this was nice as kind of more of a clean modern build. It's gonna be a little bit like minimal inside, which is kind of crazy because a house this big is not minimal at all. But the interior can be minimal. And this is where I'm creating these special platform stairs I was telling you about. So it's kind of like using the wraparound stairs, but you're actually building the platforms that they go onto. And you have to kind of play around with where the stairs can reach from the upper floor to the lower platform, because it doesn't work at any height or distance, because the steps don't like stretch. So if that makes sense. But in the end, we made it look like this, and I'm loving having half walls against platforms. I think that looks so good. When I completed this stairwell, I was like, damn, that looks really nice, and I've never been able to do this in The Sims 4, so I was very excited. I just really like this house. I think this house came out pretty nicely for an experimental home. We had one image that I looked at on stream that was tweeted to me. I kind of looked at it a couple of times for very loose inspiration of this build for the facade, and that's all I needed to go ahead. And it doesn't look like the picture at all, but it was just that little bit of inspo to get me started and start the build rolling. And then I don't know, once I started with those platforms, it just went on and on and on and on and on, and platforms everywhere, and it popped up and created this. So I hope you guys like it. I am going to get rid of the grass roofs because I feel like I've done so many grass roofs since Eco Lifestyle came out that we needed to turn it down a bit. I don't know. I just feel like I'm a bit over grass roofs. I've been doing it forever, like for months. I'd say forever, for months. And then this was going to be a nice little balcony area. But in the end, like I said, the building looks so much bigger from the outside than it is on the inside. We really needed to utilize the interior space more. Like, we didn't have enough space. It could have only been a 1-bedroom home if we didn't extend to the upper floor of the office and extend that little walkway area to be a second living area. And then we're going to have a lap pool out the back, which will be pretty awesome. I am going to change the wallpaper slightly as well. So at the end of this video, I'll do a walkthrough of the build so you guys can see it in game, which I've been doing for a little while recently. I actually copied James Turner. I noticed instead of doing screenshots, he started walking through the homes. And when I would watch those videos, I was like, I actually really prefer doing the walkthrough than the screenshots, because I can actually see what it's really like. Whereas the screenshots, it's a little bit more difficult to get an idea of how the house flows and how your Sim's going to route around it. So yeah, we did it. We've done a little copy of that for the last few months. So I hope you guys are enjoying the walkthroughs instead of the screenshots. And in here, it was quite difficult to pick a wood. We were this close to doing, not this close to doing a darker wood that kind of, I guess, complemented that front door. But in the end, I went with this lighter wood because I wanted to use some more pastel-y, lighter colors in this building, which I used to describe the light wood and the black and whites as a Scandinavian kind of looking home, because light woods like this, everyone thinks Scandinavian. But you guys who are from that region are saying that that is so dated, like that is not Scandinavian design. So we're just going light woods, okay? A bit of concrete. And I did forget to press record for some of this lounge room, so we're jumping in a little bit awkwardly here. But it took me forever to figure out the colors for this lounge room, so you probably would have got bored watching me try all the different ways anyway. And then I was tempted to change the white walls to a cream color. And I also really wanted to bring in the more traditional red brick into the home. So the idea is on the outside, the bricks have been painted white. And on the inside, they've just left them kind of raw, like a raw brick. So it does give that more industrial feel. It does make the building look a little warmer because there are a lot of cool colors in here, especially with that light wood, the black and the white. And towards the end of the build, we are going to change the white walls to a off-white color. So it's going to be a little more, a little warmer. It was feeling pretty cold, and the floorboards are going to be put back instead of the concrete floors. So that lounge room is going to change quite a bit in terms of the color scheme. I mean, when I say quite a bit, it's really not much, but it does make it look quite different, just making those few changes. So this is our lounge room area. Downstairs, there's also going to be the upstairs lounge room, which is a lot more kid-friendly. There's going to be toys up there. There's going to be a dollhouse. There's going to be couches that look like they could get stained and no one have a heart attack, which I don't have kids, but for those of you guys who do have kids, I don't know how I feel about couches, but I have a feeling you wouldn't want couches that are like white and delicate if you have kids. I mean, maybe you do manage to pull it off with like blankets and stuff. I don't know. I could not do a white couch. I have a light gray couch, and touch wood, it's going really well at the moment. Like, we haven't had any stains. We haven't had any crazy spills that I couldn't get out. My dog goes on the couch, but he sits on a blanket. He knows he's only got his allocated space that he can go on. And some people disagree with that. They're like, the dog's a part of the family. They should go anywhere on the couch that they want. But for me, I found that certain dogs can try and be dominant, and restricting their space is actually a good thing. Like saying, no, that is your part of the couch is a good way to keep them well trained. So we needed to do that anyway, so that works. But sometimes when I've said like, oh, I only let my dog on like a part of the couch when there's a blanket there, some people are like, oh, that's so sad. I'm like, well, it is part of the training too. Now this dining area, I was originally going to put a rectangular table in here, but I thought it was such a beautiful space to have a rounded table because everything around it is so geometric and block style, like the windows with the grid. It's all very grid-esque with the split levels too. So having that curved, organic, circular shape as a dining table softens the room immediately. I'm sounding like I'm an interior designer in real life, but I think it makes a really big difference. And I'm passionate about this stuff. I love playing Sims and designing in The Sims. So to me, I was like, oh gosh, I love it. And got the hanging lights, the little basket. I think that basket came from Tiny Living, no, Eco. Either Tiny Living or Eco Lifestyle. I think it was from Eco. And these lights that are hanging, they're from Tiny Living as well. The chairs are from Eco Lifestyle. The table is from Island Living. Island Living, is that what it's called? I'm like, Island Adventure, Get to Island, Sulani. What is it called? Island Living, right? Yeah, The Sims 4 Island Living. By the way, you guys, random tangent, I've started watching, I was about to say The Sims 4 Office. That would be such a good pack if you could like get to Office and get to school. That would be so cool. I mean, I guess they did get to work. But anyway, I've been watching The Office. I watched the American Office all the way through until, what's his name? Steve Carell left, and after that I just lost interest. Like, he was the show for me, so I kind of got over it then. But anyway, so now I've jumped to the British Office, and I really loved the American Office, but the British Office, I am laughing so much in it. Like, I laugh more in the British Office than the American one. I loved the American one, but it's such a different experience. And the British version of it, I think I'm only like 6 episodes into season 1. The first few episodes, I was like, this is kind of like, yeah, whatever. But now I find it so funny. And my sister was telling me, she's like, I always think that you need to watch the first 3 episodes of a TV series before you know if you like it. So there you go. And there's our sunken kitchen and those honeycomb tiles. They are actually from the Star Wars pack. Get to Star Wars, Journey to Batuu. So those tiles, I've heard a few people bought that pack for those tiles. Like they bought the pack on sale for those honeycomb tiles, which I think is just so funny. But I feel like that is something I would be so tempted to do. And I wouldn't have been able to afford to do that before YouTube and before I was luckily given these DLC packs to review. But back in the day, I would have wanted to do that, but I wouldn't have been able to. Also, those frames from the Moschino stuff pack, they're like the digital frames you can put your photos into, and they kind of go between each. I thought it was a nice way to encourage anyone who downloads this house to, I suppose, take photos with their family. And I know as a Sims player, I often forget to take photos of my Sims and put them on the wall. I always forget to do that. And then I look at other Sims players who are so good at taking pictures of their Sims and making their homes feel so lived in. And they have photos everywhere, and they play legacy challenges with like 10 generations with all of their Sims pictures. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to do that. So I want to make an effort to take more photos of my Sims and celebrate their memories. I mean, you'd think for someone who takes selfies as part of their living would remember to take their Sims photos, but I don't. And then this room upstairs is like a rumpus room, so like a kid's lounge room, family lounge room. These couches, I said you could get them dirty. They still look really nice and pristine, but I feel like because they're a little bit darker, no one will notice the chocolate smears on them, ice cream smears. And I've used the TV unit from Tiny Living, one of the best stuff packs you can get in The Sims 4, in my personal opinion. Probably the best stuff pack. And getting a butler that came with luxury stuff pack. Vintage stuff pack? Vintage luxury stuff pack. What is it called? Let me see. Vintage luxury? Vintage glamour stuff pack. We also had an interesting glitch here with the shadow. Now this shadow like appeared and then disappeared, then reappeared several times throughout the build, and also when I reopened the save. So it's quite odd. I don't know how that happened, but hey, the shadow's back when I finished it. So luckily the doll house and the little toy box kind of covers it up a bit, I think. So it's not too bad. But hopefully if you download the house, maybe in your games it won't appear, because I couldn't figure out why sometimes it came up and other times it didn't. Also, this lounge room looks a little bit more funky. You know, it's got the fun geometric carpet. It's got the yellow lamp, the bright dollhouse, the yellow bus toy box. Like, I wanted it to look a little bit more youthful than downstairs, which is quite crisp and clean, and like light gray couches and stuff. And then this here, I really like this addition. This is just using a void to create an attic space. So we have a work table in there. We have the decorations from Seasons in there. Also the florist station, and that is accessed via a ladder that is cleverly, I might add, give myself a pat on the back, tucked into a pillar as you enter the house. So it's like really utilizing those little spaces. Someone in the chat said, I think it was my modern Mythless, said I don't usually have voids in my house, like I use all the space. And it kind of got me thinking, I want to like use those spaces more. So that's kind of cool. I enjoyed that. And I mean, that'd be cool, climbing up a ladder into your workspace. There's something really adventurous and fun about that. So yeah, and I also put in the kind of vintage looking attic lights that came with Laundry Day stuff. And those lights always remind me of the film Home Alone, which I know a lot of you guys will be watching because it's almost Christmas time when this video goes up. So I will be watching that soon. I love Home Alone. And that light always reminds me of that film, I think because of the basement he's scared of, and he like turns on the light, I think. and like pulls it down, and I think that's one of the traps as well. Anyway, jumping ahead a little bit, the only custom content in this build are these curtains. I figured if you download the build and you don't have that custom content, it's not the end of the world not to have curtains in your build. They don't really add a lot to the build. They're just kind of a nice, realistic thing to have in your game if you have them. So what I'm trying to say is if you download this and you happen to just magically have all the packs I've used, which I know not many people do, but let's say you do, those would be the only things missing, those curtains. And if you guys are wondering where they're from, I think they are from the Kitchen pack by Harry and Felix Andre Sims. They make amazing custom content. And if it's not in the Kitchen pack, it's in the Bathroom pack. So I recommend you guys download both of them because they're just great packs. The only thing is, I'm not sure if they've fixed the windows and doors in those packs since the window update. This window here is from Eco Lifestyle, and I love how you can place some of these plants on the ledge. There's a little bit of an issue where you can only push them back so far, so you often have to size down the object for it to sit there and not be looking like it's falling off the edge. I love this bookshelf too. We've got another toy box, more decals to put on the walls, a nice shelf there. We've got university bookshelf, and I think that's the wardrobe from university as well. Side table is from Eco Lifestyle, and that little blue lamp with the ombre on it, the ombre blue, that is from the brand new pack. Get to the mountain. Snowy Escape. Oh my gosh. I need to work on those titles. One day, I will remember all of them like this. Be the Sims Pro I always aspired to be, and you guys would be so impressed. Probably not. It'll just save you guys from yelling at the screen sometimes when I can't remember something. This room I thought was really pretty. This one is like a blue and yellow color scheme, and the curtains that are going to go on the windows are actually from one of the stuff packs. It could be actually from Vintage Glamour. They've got a little bit of a lace detail on them, and it's just an interesting room because I've never used this color scheme with this furniture and the curtains. It's just a different aesthetic to what I've tried before. And sometimes it does amaze me that no matter how much or how many builds you do, no matter how many hours you put into this game, you can always find a unique way to furnish a room that you have not done before. There's enough items in the game and enough color schemes for you to still, even with creative style, come up with things where you're like, oh, I haven't done that before. So I thought these curtains were quite nice with the matching walls and the yellow cushion and the white furniture. It just looks very, very neat. And I showed my sister, Deligracy, how to look, and she was like, oh, I love that. And it made me feel happy and warm inside, so I hope it makes you feel that way too. Or you might hate it, which is fine as well. You can rip it out and change it if you want to when you download it. And our table is from the Knitting Stuff Pack, which knitting has a lot of good stuff as well. And there's little moss ball pets to the right of the screen. That is also from Snowy Escape. And they're like a little pet moss ball aquarium thing, I think. I haven't actually used that object yet. That was one of the objects in the pack when we were furnishing homes that wasn't finalized. So I don't know, maybe someone else used it in their build, but I wouldn't be surprised if no one put those moss balls in their build because it was finalized so late. And so it's kind of nice to have used it. Okay, so jumping into the game, this is our finalized house. And it looks like a big house. Like, you know, she's thick. It's thick. They're thick. And I think it's kind of cool though. I mean, it's split levels, okay? It's an experimental build, and I think it's turned out pretty cool. And I've just noticed these windows are overlapping, and they shouldn't be, so I don't know how that happened. but I'll fix them before I upload it to the gallery. If you want to download it, it'll be under the username Deligracy. Here's our lap pool at the back. We've got a hot tub as well. The master bedroom has the best view at the back of the house. I'm gonna check out that barbecue area soon as well. Oh, I need to fix up that wallpaper too, so it's not just gray. But I think it's a very, like, from the exterior, it's a pretty well balanced exterior. Like, it all kind of makes sense. So going through here, let's not go through the front door. Let's say we are a person who has a meeting with the people who live here in their home office, because this I didn't actually show on camera. So this is the split level fashion office. So it's got a pink color scheme. I imagine that would suit the branding in here. Of course, you can change it up if you like. And I love how the workspace is divided by having the split leveling in here, and that is the stylist board on the left. So if your sim is in a stylist career, they may like to move in here. There is a hidey door over here that goes into the main house, but we'll just look at this sunken L-shaped fire pit area. They've got this beautiful leafy wall in the background, those wooden details or wall coverings. They're from the recent pack. I love this green table just for a pop of color. These lounge chairs are overlapped using the Move Objects on sheet, and they are from University. Beautiful barbecue area with new counters from the latest pack. Those plants are from University. So that's pretty nice. And then if we head over here, this is where our pool is. Got a hot tub. There's the new science kids gear at the back there on the right. And then this is one of my favorite parts. This is an outdoor shower that sits on a platform, and I just thought that was so cute. Coming into the front of the house, this is our downstairs lounge room. Very nice exposed brick, but it looks lived in and friendly. And this is like, I love this. I love all the different half walls, the platforms, the split leveling. I just think that looks so architecturally just cool. We've got our curved table or rounded table over here. Again, those sheer curtains are from the pack I was telling you about before by Felix, Andre, and Harry. And then down here is the sunken kitchen. So yeah, don't run off the edge or else you'll land in the sink. So that's the kitchen. I think that light is from Get to Work. So I love this. I love the staircase. So you go up to the first split level and you can be like, hey, down in the kitchen. I mean, sound would be a bit of an issue in this house because it would travel everywhere. And then you go up here and this is where our Rumpus room is. Cute, huh? Got this nice space. Got the half wall, but you still get plenty of light and it doesn't feel too cramped in. It's still very open. And then across here, we have the master bedroom. Very nice. Very nice. I thought two guys would be here, a couple, and they run their fashion business. I thought that would be really nice. That's kind of the bedroom I was designing for. And then this is the bathroom. Tiny living stuff on the wall there. They don't have any photos yet, but they will soon. Then through here, we have the first kid's bedroom. Really cute. Very bright, very happy. I love the clouds. The cloud lamps. I also have to say, I just love the graphics in this game. I love the graphics. And this is the shared bathroom. And then in here is the other bedroom. That's kind of a unique, strict color scheme, but kind of not strict as well. And just showing you guys the floor plan from above. So this is the work studio. This is a walkway to the sunken lounge area. Just over here, there is a little powder room tucked into this void. And this down here is what I was telling you about with the hidden ladder. So that looks like a pillar at the front, but there's a little ladder here, and that's what actually goes up to this attic space. So there didn't need to be a door inside. So yeah, let me know what you guys think of this build, and if you enjoyed it, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. I also have a second channel, More Deligracy, where you can watch back the live streams where I began this build and see it in real time. But anyway guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you're having a lovely morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world. I'll speak to you soon. Dag dag!